And we're back. All right, this is part 8, section 2. Part 8, section 2 for our videographer. And by the way, I tried to do it myself and it didn't work out, so we're back to my daughter helping me. God love her. All right, you should have the fill in the blank notes, part 8. Go down to where big subtitle in the middle in capital letters. Rulers use a variety of methods to legitimize and consolidate their power. All right, big fancy words. All it means is, why are you going to obey me? You know, there has to be some reason for you to obey me. You know, and theirs is, I have all this cool stuff. You know, that means I'm cool if I have cool stuff. If I don't have cool stuff, then I'm not cool. So rulers had to legitimize their power. Show the people, yes, I am great. Look at this Taj Mahal I built. Could Bob the homeless man build a Taj Mahal? I think not. But me, the ruler, can. All right. Under asterisk there, people need a reason to obey. People need a reason to obey. You have to have some sign of authority. You know, like a badge on a police officer's uniform is a sign of authority. The rulers of the empires had different signs of authority. They used different methods to rule, to show people, you know, I'm the one in charge. All right, the first one, rulers use the arts, A-R-T-S, art. That's an easy word, art. Just say that sometime when you're walking down the hallway. Art. To display political power and legitimize their rule. So they use some kind of art. It can be anything. It can be architecture. It can be, we're going to get into that. All right, letter A, monumental architecture. Man, underline that. That's a big, AP is always bringing this up. What is monumental architecture? It's something built that really doesn't serve a useful purpose. You know, like the pyramids are monumental architecture. Yes, it was a tomb for the pharaoh, but you didn't need that big a thing. Monumental architecture. Just some kind of thing built that doesn't have a specific need. Like the people don't need to have that. All right, number 1, the Taj Mahal. Created by now let me tell you this, it's in India. You know, it says created by the blank emperor Shah Jahan. Now, who controls India during this time period? The answer should be Mughal, M-U-G-H-A-L. Created by the Mughal emperor Shah Jahan to house the remains of his third wife. The remains of his third wife. So the Taj Mahal is essentially a mausoleum. You know, there's a dead person in there somewhere. You know, I just wonder how his first and second wife felt. God, the third wife gets a Taj Mahal. I get a coffin. All right, letter B. A mausoleum is called the jewel of Muslim art in India. The jewel of Muslim art in India. Look what we're saying. We're in a Hindu nation. India is basically Hindu. But it was Muslims. The Mughals were Muslim. You know, it started with Akbar. He was a good guy. Then it got bad after that, but still under Islamic rule. The Mughal Empire is Islamic. All right. So it's Muslim art in India. Kind of funny. And boy, they could ask you all kind of questions like that. You know, show you the Taj Mahal. Explain this. Why is it in India? Well, because the Muslims are controlling India under the Mughal Empire. That's why it's there. Letter C. Best example of Mughal Empire. It's a blend of Islamic, Persian, Ottoman, Turkish, and Indian architecture. And it makes sense. It's in India. All these people are around it. The Ottoman Empire is pretty close to the Mughal Empire geographically. All right. The Suleiman Mosque in Istanbul. Suleiman Mosque in Istanbul. Built by Suleiman. Look at number 2. You'll be able to spell that. Suleiman. Suleiman the Magnificent. He was a sultan. Suleiman the Magnificent. A religious complex that blended Islamic and Byzantine architectural elements. Byzantine. Now, I mean, you've got to be able to connect this. Why is Byzantine there? What's the influence of Byzantine? Look where the mosque is. It's in Istanbul. What did Istanbul used to be called? Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. So the Byzantine culture still drags on there. One reason both Taj Mahal and Suleiman Mosque were built was because political leaders in the Islamic empires were competing against each other in order to attract the most prestigious and revered. I know how to say it. Revered. Look up to artists. What is that word? Revered. That's how you say it. Revered. Artists, architecture, literary writers, and scholars to their own courts. Okay, revered. Now, you've got 3 Muslim empires right here together. You've got the Ottoman Empire, Muslim. You've got the Mughal Empire, Muslim. And we have another empire, the Safavid, or Safavid Empire. We're going to get to that today. We're going to learn about them. Mrs. Fishnick has an image. I didn't know if my notes don't show I have an image for this, but I want you to know where all these empires are. So if Ms. Fishnick, if you want to pause it and pass that out now, if you've already passed that out, great. Feel free to pause me at any time. Everybody does. It shows you 3 Islamic empires, and they don't like each other, even though they're all Islamic. They don't like each other. So each one of those empires are competing to get the coolest stuff, to show everyone else. Remember, you show how cool you are by what monumental architecture. Well, you got to have people who know how to do architecture. You know, they wouldn't hire me. I can't draw a stick figure. So they're competing. Here's a great artist, the best, number 1. The Safavids wanted to build a monumental architecture. The Ottomans wanted to build monumental. You know, everybody's competing for this, guys. So there's competition between the 3 empires to try and get the best monumental architecture. Because if you have the best monumental architecture, it shows you're the coolest. All right. Look at letter B. Another way rulers show they are cool. You know, we just got through with basically architecture. That's for one way. Rulers show I'm in charge. I couldn't be in charge. You know, I built this. No one can build this except me. That means I'm pretty cool. Here's the second way. Urban design. Number 1, Tenochtitlan. Or some people go Tenochtitlan. Spelled Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan. Boy, you got to be careful when you say that, because there's a couple of bad words in that one word that I would stumble over, as I just got through with revered. The capital of the Aztec Empire, 1500. It was one of the largest cities in the world. Cortez was the first European to see Tenochtitlan. And as he's going through the jungles of Mexico and goes to the vine and opens up, he sees Tenochtitlan. And he is amazed. He says, oh my gosh, these people are powerful people. The king shows his power by, look at this great city I built. That's another way to show how cool you are. Have monumental architecture and urban design. All right. Another example of showing how cool you are by urban design was the city of Constantinople. That's number 2, Constantinople. Located on a peninsula, it was originally the capital of the Byzantine Empire. You know that. Until it was conquered by the Ottomans in 1453. And of course, they changed the name to Istanbul once they conquered it. Number 3, Venice, Venice. Located on the Adriatic, known for its beautiful canals. Venice. So the ruler there said, look how cool I am. Built Venice. Number 4, Macau. Macau, M-A-C-A-O. M-A-C-A-O. Seaport in southern China, was used by the Chinese to conduct limited trade with the Europeans. It became a European colony in the 19th century. All right, so we have 2 ways so far rulers show or legitimize their power: monumental architecture and urban design. You can't build a big city and not be cool. You can't build a Taj Mahal and not be cool. If you build those things, you're cool. Letter C, the third way we show legitimacy: courtly literature. Literature, I love that word, literature. Mother, Father, perhaps I might read some literature today. Literature. Number 1, ideas of class honor and valor. Ideas of class honor and valor. Glorification of individual virtues. Virtues. And you've seen this. It's not so much now. Well, maybe there is. But back in the old days, people would walk in somebody's house and they'd say, "Let me show you my library." And you'd walk in there, all these books around. You think, "My gosh, this person's pretty cool. They have this many books." Well, that's what rulers would do to legitimize their power. Courtly literature. So now you know 3 ways: monumental architecture, urban design, courtly literature. Letter D, visual arts. Ceramics, drawings, paintings, and sculptures. Sculptures. If you had a sculpture in your house, that means you're pretty cool. I don't have a sculpture in my... Well, I do have a bronze cowboy. I'm pretty cool. Bronze cowboy. All right. Rulers also use religious ideas to legitimize their rule. Religious ideas. Letter A, the European notion of divine right. I am king because that's what God wanted. Who are you to question God? I think not. No. The divine right of kings was an important political ideology in Western Europe. That's the only way the kings kept power. You know, some of them were stupid. I mean, just legitimately stupid. Louis XVI was a flipping idiot. But his daddy died. Bloodline was passed on. Divine right means the king's authority comes from Mr. Hampton, God, and is only accountable to God. How dare you question me? My decision? Yes, I'm building a road in a swamp. What's wrong with that? God told me to. The king's power cannot be questioned by any earthly person. Earthly person. You can't question it. God gave him power. Number 4. In Roman Catholic countries, it meant that the king's power must be endorsed by the Pope. A tradition that goes back to Charlemagne's coronation in 800 CE. Since the Pope is head of the church and God is giving the king the power, the king has to get along with the church. That's why the King of England loved it when the Protestant Reformation came, because they split apart from the Catholic Church. He didn't have to deal with them anymore. And Charlemagne was the first king to be coronated by the Pope. In other words, the Pope is saying, yes, you do have the power of God. And from then on, every king, whenever they came to power, whenever their daddy died, the Pope got his little carriage, came out there, and put the crown on. And something really cool happens when Napoleon comes along. This is so cool. So put that in the back of your mind. One great story about Napoleon. All right, we're going to end this part.